Hello guys and welcome back to the channel here. Today we're going to be starting the last part, the finale to What If Naruto Only Had Ki and Was Neglected. So yeah, enough said. Let's hop into this finale. As Naruto and his Jinchuriki allies walk through Konoha's gates, as we see a bunch of dead Anbu and Jonin behind them, as they were sent there to guard the gates. Not there to fight Naruto, but to guard and fight against any allies he would have sent there. But they didn't expect Naruto to just straight up barrage through the front gate. But that's why it was only Anbus and Jonis there. They should have sent Kage, maybe some S-class shinobi. Maybe they could have slowed down Naruto a little bit, injured him, maybe cut his cheek up a little bit. But since the shinobi they sent weren't even S rank, Naruto defeated them with ease, and so did his teammates. Ever since they were training for 3 years with Naruto and Fu and experienced shinobi, whether retired or not, they were bound to get stronger, which made their rank as a collective group from S rank to triple S rank. Naruto being the triple S rank, and some other Jinchurikis being, one Jinchuriki being double S rank, and that was Fu, since she had the strongest. No, that wasn't Fu. That was the 8-tailed Jinchuriki. My bad. Fu was high S rank though. She was nearing double S rank, but yeah. Anyways, as Naruto tells his team to split up, as he wants to deal with the remaining shinobi who are at the Kage Tower by himself, since that was his problem. It wasn't up to them to kill off the shinobi. These shinobi were his enemy, not theirs. So he arrives at the Hokage Tower, experiencing some trouble along the way, some Jonins here and there, a couple civilians who were yet to evacuate. He killed them all with ease though, using his ki scythe, might add, which is a lot sharper now since he was practicing with it, making it sharper, so when he cuts through Minato, he'll cut through him like butter, which is why it's a lot sharper, if that makes sense. So he finally arrives at the Kage Tower and thinks to himself, so this is where it all ends, with my father's death, the death of Konoha by the hands of the demon and his friends, his demon friends. How ironic. The ones they discarded as useless and demonic and disgusting. It's the same one who's destroying them like they're cockroaches. They look down on me like I was one, and look at me now, squishing them like they're cockroaches. How ironic. But I guess life is pretty ironic. Huh, father? As Minato rushes towards Naruto with a Rasengan, as we flash back a couple minutes before Naruto had arrived, as we see the Konoha 13, because Menma and Mito, they're two people, not one. As we see Konoha 13 alongside Minato, Kushina, a lot of high-ranking officials are there. Even Danzo, since Sasuke didn't kill him because he didn't know about what Danzo had did, since Naruto killed Itachi, so he didn't know. But yeah, all the really high-ranking officials are there, as they are planning on what to do when Naruto arrives. They're planning on making a sealing away. Well, since he doesn't have chakra, they're just planning on just sealing away his movements. Maybe shutting down his body, killing him, since they find him useless. Since none of their techniques can work with his energy, and they don't have any techniques that could go with his energy. Well, yeah, I just said that in a different way. They don't have nothing. They have no uses for him. He's just been a nuisance to them. He's killed, he's probably going to kill all of their allies, their shinobi, once he gets to the village with no mercy. So they're just thinking, why capture him? Why capture him as a prisoner? You might as well just kill him there then. So they come up with a plan to just seal him. Use someone as a distraction while another person seals him. Seals his body parts to make sure he doesn't move. And then they're just going to kill him like that. And they want everybody in that room to try to at least get one attack on him, so it can be extra painful to defeat. But as you guys probably realize, it's not going to end that way. As we finally flash back to the, present time. As Naruto jumps over the Rasengan, kicking Minato in the face, but Minato blocks it with his other hand. But since the kick is from Naruto, it still sends him flying backwards as he slows and stops, barely landing on his feet as he looks at his throbbing arm. God damn. He nearly broke my arm. If I hadn't infused chakra at the last second, my thing would be flopping like a fish, I guess, as he rubs his arm. As it's nearly fractured by Naruto's kick. His kick was so powerful and so sudden, Minato couldn't really react since he didn't expect Naruto to have such speed. Since Minato was the fastest, he's used to being the fastest, and he used his teleportation jutsu, so there's no way Naruto could have noticed, but Naruto still did, so he wasn't prepared for that to happen. But he was still lucky enough to block it using some chakra at the last second. As Guy and Lee rush towards him with a dynamic entry, as they are both in the 7th gate, might I add, since this enemy, the threat of this enemy, had pushed Lee to the limits. He had pushed himself even further than he had ever done, allowing him to unlock all 8 gates. Guy already unlocked all of them, but you know what I mean. As they are both in their 7th gate, screaming, trying to attack Naruto. They're speeding around him, kind of doing like what Lee did what Lee did to Gaara in Canon in the tuning exams, preliminaries. But except Naruto is just dodging all their attacks. He's not using no defense or anything. He's just dodging and weaving and maybe getting a counter here and there, but he's mostly dodging and weaving. As the two come to a stop, as they then enter the 8th gate. Well, they don't enter the 8th gate because they don't want to destroy the village using their power, but they were planning on leading him outside of the village so they can then enter into the 8th gate and then destroy him. Even if they die, at least they died saving and protecting the village. That's the greatest honor they believe they could have. But Naruto just speed blitzes them and cuts their heads off with his ki slide. 2 wastes of perfectly fine shinobi. Don't you think, Minato? As Minato is standing with the rest of, what's remaining of this village, as Naruto and his allies had just arrived after killing all shinobi residing in the Leaf, as they had killed them all with relative ease using clones, and since they're Jinchurikis, it wasn't that difficult, I'll be honest with you, as they're all covered in blood that's not their own. Naruto looks back. Oh wow, All the Jinchurikis finally meet up in one little area where it all started. Where your first Hokage had all the Jinchuriki. Well, not all the Jinchuriki, but all the Biju. And look, they're all here now. Once again. Isn't that funny? Isn't this such a coincidence that all Biju appear in the same village once more? Or is this fate? What do you think, Hyuga? If my information is correct, you branch members highly believe in idiotic fate. What do you think of that main Hyuga female over there? What do you think? Do you think you're fated to kill her? Give your life up for her? What do you think you're fated to do? I would love to know. That specific Hyuga he's talking about, Neji, rushes towards him. Don't you dare talk about the Hyugas like that, you disgusting, lowly demon! As he tries to immediately use the trigrams. 8 trigrams, 64 palms. But guard comes in and, handcuffs his arms and legs and has him float in the air as Naruto waves his finger. That right there is the dumbest thing you could ever do. I mean, you attack me. You see what I just did to your friends here, right? You attack me using that chakra shutting down technique of yours. I don't even have chakra. I mean, are you an idiot? I guess that's all you Hyugas are used to. Using the same technique over and over again. Hoping it works. Isn't that the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result? I might be incorrect. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. There are a couple of so-called geniuses here, so correct me if I'm wrong. That is the definition of insanity, right? As Naruto signals to Gaara to crush and kill Neji. As Gaara first crushes... Oh my god. My bad, guys. This is where I live, man. It's a bit annoying when it comes to the cars here, but yeah. Anyways, as Gaara slowly crushes each of Neji's limbs until he then gets to the head, engulfs it in sand, muffling Neji's endless screams of agony, crushing his head, and then letting his body drop as it's missing a head and its limbs have bones poking out everywhere and some fingers are missing, toes are missing. It's a gnarly sight, I'll be honest with you. As everybody looks at Neji's body in fear and anger, as they all think, what the hell? What the hell? What was that? As Naruto yells, my Jinchuriki allies, are you ready for the battle of your lives? Okay, maybe it wouldn't be that entertaining, but are you all ready for an exciting battle? As all the Jinchuriki behind him, Roshi, Fu, Gaara, all of them look at him and smile. We sure are, leader. As they all get in their stances, Naruto in his scythe stance, Gaara just standing there as he doesn't have a fighting stance really, since he's a ranged fighter, but he doesn't want to show off what martial arts he would use. As Naruto and his team look at Minato and his friends. You guys, you take on whoever's left. I'll take on Minato, Kushina, and his so-called mom and dad, you know what I'm talking about, Jiraiya, Tsunade, and, well, if the Konoha 13, if I'm correct, is my math correct? Yeah, Konoha 13, turn inferior, you can deal with them, but there's 3 members of the Konoha 13 I want you to leave alone, or at least not kill. Sasuke, Menma, Mito. The rest, they're free kills for you. As they all charge at each other, Naruto smiling with his devilish smile as he charges towards Kushina, but she launches her chains at him, locking him in place. But this was all a part of his plan, as he smiles with Jiraiya and Minato and Menma and Mito launching at him with their Rasenguns. Kakashi also alongside Sasuke launching at him with the Chidori as they come from all sides. Come from the left, the right, the front, the back, up, even down, okay? They're trying to kill him everywhere. But Naruto breaks through the chains and jumps in like a weird angle. He like jumps in an angle. So they all miss their attacks, all hitting each other. As the attacks are all just concentrated forms of chakra. So when they interact with each other, they just burst in this big drastic energy blast, severing the hands of those who had used the jutsus and destroying Kushina's chakra chains, which had severely weakened her. As Minato, Sasuke, Kakashi, Jiraiya, Menma, and Mito, they're all missing an arm. Kind of like how Sasuke and Naruto and Kanon are missing an arm. As they're all screaming in agony, yelling at Naruto, spitting curses at him. How dare you dodge us? Now I'm missing an arm. You now owe us all an arm. And we'll take the rest from your allies. As Tsunade is rushing there with Sakura trying to heal them up. Alongside Hinata as well, but Shikamaru's dad and a lot of the other clan heads are there getting absolutely killed by the Jinchuriki. Shikamaru's dad tried to paralysis seal Gaara, but he dodged it using his sand. Then he put Shikamaru's dad in a sand coffin. Though Shikamaru's dad, using his intellect, yelled for them to use a water jutsu, making the sand heavier and wet. But Naruto had prepared for this. He had it made so that Gaara would immediately drop the sand and then just rush towards whoever did that, using a clone, of course, not his actual body, distracting them so he can then use some more sand to then put them in another sand coffin, killing them instantly. It's a kind of complicated plan, but it's not a plan that you would really expect, would you? For the person to rush you, for it to then be a clone that puts you in a coffin, that's kind of a convoluted and confusing plan that not even Sheikah's dad would expect to happen. So it works. Sheikah's dad, well, not Sheikah. Sheikah is Shikamaru's dad. Sheikah dies. And so the rest of the head clan. So do the rest of the clan heads. Ichi, not Shikamaru's dad, Choji's dad, I forgot his name. I don't know. They all die. As Naruto looks at, the remaining 9 people in front of him. What are you looking for? I think the rest of your allies are dead. Kiba died with his mother. Shikamaru died with his dad. Died with her dad. Come on. don't the rest of you want to die with your family? Isn't that the best death you can ever ask for? To die with those you care for? Don't worry. I'll grant you that very wish as he summons a bunch of Keyblades, giving them to his allies as they are all in their chakra cloaks, basically, as they come to agreements with their tailed beast. So their tailed beast give them these chakra cloaks that are kind of similar to the Sage of Six Path chakra cloak Naruto has, but it's completely different. But it's kind of similar, okay? It's kind of like KCM, basically, but instead of it being QB chakra mode, it's, Gookie chakra mode. It's different, okay? This is basically what I'm trying to say, but it's basically what that is. As Naruto tells his team, look, see those two, that Hyuga and that pink-haired, flat-chested girl? Yeah, you see those? You guys are going to kill them, alright? Oh, and this white-haired guy right here. You can kill him too. I'll take the other 6. As Naruto rushes towards Minato, as he kicks him in the head, sending him flying back. You'll be last on my list, Minato, so don't worry. You just wait and watch as I kill your family, your friends, everybody you've ever loved. You just wait, as your time shall come in a couple of seconds if everything goes to plan. As he walks towards Menma, cutting his head off. As Mito and everybody screams, "No! Menma!" As he walks towards Mito, stabbing her with a keyblade, lifting her up, and then breaking her neck with his other hand. As he throws her body, and he walks towards Tsunade. And she defends herself, obviously, because she's Tsunade. And she summons she uses her 100 healing seals, and she tries to attack Naruto with her punch, but he grabs it with his ki-infused hand, and he crushes her hand. She screams in agony. He twists her entire arm, as it all breaks apart like crackers, and he rips it off, and he smacks her with it so hard that her head explodes. It's gruesome, and everybody's just watching in fear, thinking they're going to be next to die such a gruesome death. As Naruto walks towards Jiraiya, as he gets behind him, he rips out his neck, like the entire thing. He rips it out, and then he cuts his private part off with his keyblade. As Jiraiya bleeds out and dies a death he hadn't hoped to die. As he then walks towards, Kushina. As Minato realizes that his wife is going to die, just as gruesome death as his children, his pretty much father and mother. As he rushes towards her, screaming and crying his lungs out, trying to save her, but Naruto gets behind her. Well, he doesn't get behind her. He kneels and he prays in front of her. Mother, your death shall be the second worst. As he rips her eyes out, then rips her throat, then breaks her arms and rips them off. And he then rips her head out. Kind of like how Scorpion does. Not like Scorpion, but the Predator. Alongside her spine. He rips her head out so hard, the spine comes with it, okay? It's awesome. It's almost like to see in a video game, but not in real life. As Minato falls to his knees crying, begging Naruto to kill him. by Naruto, he realizes that this is the worst pain that Minato could ever have. Killing him would only grant him the sanctuary he wanted. All Minato really wants is power, but if he can't get that, all he really wants is to be with his family. So Naruto took that from him. He took it from him. As he then calls over Gaara. And he tells Gaara that we're going to keep him as a prisoner. And he seals away his chakra. As he then rips off Minato's other arm. And he has Fu heal both shoulders thingies. It's kind of weird. He has Fu heal them both. And instead of actually taking him as a prisoner, he decides, no. We're going to leave him here to suffer. If he dares fight against us, we'll kill him. As they then start to destroy and burn down buildings in front of Minato. As he cries in agony. As he has no arms, so he can't use any of his infamous jutsus. He has no chakra, so he can't do anything. He has no village, no money, no nothing, no family. He's lost everything he's ever cared for, and that's the worst pain you could ever feel. It's even worse than dying alongside your family. It's worse than getting stabbed in the neck. It's worse than any other sort of death you could ever think of. Since he now has nothing. There's nothing on this world for him anymore. As he just leaves the village to forever walk the mortal realm. Well, not forever, until he dies, obviously. But he forever walks, saddened by the destruction and death of his family, friends, everything he's ever built and cared for, and how it was destroyed in front of his eyes, and how he could have stopped it from happening if he were only smarter and better of a person. But it's too late to change it now. As he walks and walks and walks until he dies, thinking to himself, why was I such a stupid mortal? Stupid idiot. I should have cared for him like any other father would have. But except I was too stupid to understand, to see that it was not his fault. It was never his fault. As Naruto leaves the village with a smile on his face. As we flash back to after the remaining Akatsuki members, alongside Kabuto and Orochimaru. Oh, no, Orochimaru's dead. But after they had escaped, Naruto had gone and found them. My bad, but Naruto had gone and found them and killed them to make sure that there wouldn't be no loose ends or people who would ever threaten his plans on bringing the world peace, since he could tell that these people were the type to do such a thing. I mean, they were disgusting rogue shinobi. There's no way he could have trusted them enough to leave them alive. The only one he could have really trusted was, well, Sasuke's brother Itachi, but even then, he couldn't let no Akatsuki member live. Because for as long as they would exist, they would forever hunt his friends and family. So he had to deal with them. So he destroyed them. And that was the only way. But yeah, that's it for this What If series. If you liked it, comment down below. And yeah, peace.